Okay, thank you, Eric. And by the way, yesterday was Eric's birthday. Please wish him a happy birthday. Well, belated birthday. Of course, everyone that I love and care about's birthday is in September, including mine, So I'm like, let's just say some people were busy during the holidays. So it's wonderful to be with you all. Tonight, wherever you are, welcome into this space. Welcome to those of you who are new to our practice, to the very eclectic practice of Medicine Buddha as expressed through me. Yeah, I'm excited about so many of the events coming up, particularly the music event coming up here in Atlanta at the High Museum, which is our main museum here in Atlanta, with my new friend, Melissa White, who is this incredible violinist, founder of the Harlem Quartet. So you can find their music everywhere, and a Grammy Award winner as well. And I was able to see the Harlem Quartet and to meet her earlier this year when they were on tour here in Atlanta. And a mutual friend of ours organized this really wonderful event to get both of us together. She's a practitioner as well. She's a meditator. She's a yoga teacher as well. And so she's really into this like healing work. She may be here tonight in the space, who knows? But I'm just so thrilled and honored to be sharing this space. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we've started meeting. And plenty of tickets left, but not many. So if you're locally here, please check that out or share that event with someone who would like to see us do our thing together. But she'll be playing. She will definitely be playing. I'll be like weaving, my guidance instruction into it as well. So we're excited about it. Yeah, so yes, so much is happening, right? And I don't really want to say much to get us started. I just want to kind of just jump into practice. If you're new, this is a guided practice, right? You know as much as I do as to what's going to happen right now. I absolutely have nothing planned out. However, I do have some images that are coming online, which is really how this works, friends, actually. I don't prepare for anything. I just kind of show up and I open. And we've been working with some of the groups that we've been working with, or I've been working with. We've been talking about channeling. Of course, you can read New Saints, the chapter on prayer, which is it's really just a channeling practice that I have in New Saints. I call it prayer. But, this kind of opening, and I hope in the New Saints course to teach this as well. So a little bit of incentive, in the 8-week course, we're going to be going through a lot of new material, some material that's not even in the book. So it's going to be a lot of practice. You're going to be leaving with a lot of new things that I haven't quite shared with people or led people through. So I know I do that for everything. It's always a new practice. There's always something, but if you want to really deepen your practice and really have a lot of support in deepening that practice, I would think about the course. We can work, I know payment is an obstacle. We can work something out. So don't let money be an obstacle. But if this is something you really want to do, please apply and we'll work with you to figure out something. But anyway, as I come into practice, it's just an opening, which takes a lot of trust, which takes a lot of confidence. You have to be audacious to do this kind of just showing up and opening, and whatever happens, happens. But this is where I want all of you in your practice to be. Not all this planning. Like I said I wasn't going to say anything before practice. Now look at what's happening. I'm like, oh, I can talk about this show, and which I am going to talk about it, because it's my gig, so I can do whatever I want. So like, this is where the Southern Queen part of my bio comes in, right? Um, so this whole like planning and fabricating and everything, no, just show up. If you're a yoga teacher, now it may be harder with yoga, but I have done this when I used to teach yoga, a little more consistently. I would just be like, okay, I'm just gonna show up. I'll have one or two asanas in mind, and I'll just like start, you know. Um, but to trust your practice enough to hold you when you need it, right? And this is like dying, like to show up to this experience of transition and to let go and to fall into your practice, to let your practice hold you in this transition, right? It's the same idea. Jump and the net will appear, right? That old Zen saying, right? Jump and the net will appear, which is exactly what's happening. I'm just jumping. And because I have dedicated so much to my practice, the practice just happens, you know? Um, there's a show on HBO called The Rehearsal. And I forget the guy's name who does it, but he has a couple of shows, I think. And one of my friends introduced me to it, actually made me watch a few episodes. And it's a reality show. And the whole idea is it plays on this millennial anxiety around being prepared for stuff. Nathan Phil Fielder. And the whole show is about him finding people who need to rehearse something. And either it's like a difficult conversation or they want to experience something that they've never experienced, right? And he sets up this whole thing where they get to rehearse going through this process before they have to do it, right? And it goes completely way out there. No, you have to, I won't fairly describe it, but it's like it's like he goes through everything that could possibly happen in the thing that they want to do, and they play it out, they act it out, they hire people to come and play different parts. They go and research the people who he's having this interaction with. I mean, there's just everything. And it's really interesting, but you lean back and you go, wow, like all this energy and effort just to have one conversation, right? And they're rehearsing for days and days, right? Um, it was very wild. By the end, it's just like, oh, this feels ethically something, you know? But I bring that up, like that's important to bring up as we start our practice, is because we don't always have time to rehearse, right? Like we don't always, for you Dharma teachers, you don't always have time to write a Dharma talk, right? You don't always have time to figure out your asanas for the yoga class. You don't often have time maybe to put together a presentation that you have to do. It's just like sometimes you just show up and you wing it, right? And this is, I think, an incredibly important practice, and Dharma, like you have to at some point trust that your practice will be enough in the moment you need it. If you don't trust it, it's not going to work, right? Like if you have doubts and hesitancies around the practice, it's not going to awaken in the way that you need it. You have to have full confidence, that practice will hold you in the moment, because there will be times where you won't think to practice. It's just going to happen, right? And I've seen that in my personal practice where previously in certain situations I had to think my way through it, but over time with practice, like when that same situation has happened, my practice is just there. I don't even think about it. I'm just instantly holding space. I'm instantly like working through stuff coming up. I'm instantly clear. I'm instantly aware. I don't have to think about being aware. It just happens. And that's where we want to be in our practice, right? When we're sick, medicine Buddha just arises. We don't even have to pray. like that level of practice, like you're there, which is to say also that you want to practice until like you're just stuck in practice, right? You're just there. So when I'm sitting here and opening, like I don't have doubts, I don't have fear, right? As long as there's emptiness, there's always going to be medicine. And since there will always be emptiness, there will always be medicine, right? And I know that's going to take a little more confidence building in the experience of emptiness itself, right? Because emptiness ultimately is what we're taking refuge in. We're not taking refuge in necessarily this idea of a Buddha or a deity. Like we're taking refuge in emptiness itself, right? Um, and emptiness not being this cold, nihilistic experience, but emptiness actually being this profound experience of complete total potential, unbounded spaciousness, like complete liberation, complete transcendence of all binary, right? To rest within the emptiness, to rest in the emptiness is to become the medicine itself. And this is what this practice is helping us to do, is to become the medicine, you know? You don't have to get ready if you stay ready, right? If you stay seated in the lap of medicine Buddha, then you're always ready. If you stay seated in the lap of the mother, like the mother is always ready. So that's just something to kind of think about. The medicine that we're opening to is really the liberation of emptiness itself. And the more you practice with emptiness, the more attuned we are. And so I don't have to open that attunement. It's just there. I'm already open to it. I'm already moving through and dancing in emptiness. And the way Tara teaches us to dance in emptiness. And to open, to feel that the sweetness of emptiness, like the sweetness. So let's begin somewhere in and around this. This, right? And I always want you to begin with just a contemplation on liberation, right? And that we're practicing to get free. This is the only kind of aspiration that I quite frankly demand if you're practicing with me, because if you don't have the aspiration that you're practicing to get free, you're going to misunderstand what's happening, right? And you're not going to actually understand me, right? I'm not practicing to feel comfortable. I'm not practicing to feel safe. I'm practicing to get free, to remember my innate Buddha nature, which is to say, to remember the essence, the nature of my own mind, which is the nature of all phenomena, emptiness, free space. Spaciousness is the felt, lived experience of fluidity and potential. I think I wrote something in the book about that once. Right? Our experience of space is the doorway into emptiness. So to begin to experience space is to get closer to the experience and even perhaps the state of emptiness. So to say to yourself, I am practicing now to get free. You don't have to understand what that is, right? Because in many ways, we're faking it till we make it anyway. I wouldn't suggest that for a lot of things, but we can try it here. I'm practicing to get free. I'm practicing to transcend the binaries that perpetuate so much of my suffering. I would say all of our suffering. And I'm practicing to get free, and I'm practicing to help free all beings. And when you're ready, I invite you to shift your attention to the seat, noticing the weight of your body, seat rising to hold you. Of course, we shift our attention even lower and we begin to touch the earth. And as we think about touching the earth, we are touching the earth, the land, the mother, to begin to connect to the massive awakened consciousness of the earth. And as we touch the earth, we remember the history of the earth and the lands that we're practicing and living on right now. There's so much real kindness in this way of touching the earth, not just doing a land acknowledgement, but touching the land, acknowledging the consciousness of the land, of the earth, choosing to hold the narrative of the earth. As the land, the earth holds histories. The land is a storyteller. And the land, the earth, is always speaking to us in a language that colonization has so impacted, erased. And this is one of the ways we start relearning that language. This really precise, direct communication of the mother in the form of the earth. And then we connect and touch into the consciousness of our plant siblings and allies. We touch into the consciousness of our animal siblings and allies. And I know this feels really abstract and kind of ambiguous, but it's okay. This is part of the process. What we're doing is grounding into the earth and then expanding our awareness and touching all the beings who also are rooted with the earth. And to move even deeper into this work, we slowly begin to imagine that the space that we're in, that everything, this room or wherever you are, begins to dissolve into white light. And that white light begins to dissolve into emptiness. And so when the light begins to fade into emptiness, you just imagine sitting in darkness. And this is important here, because in this hemisphere, we're beginning the journey into darkness as the light is slowly leaving the world. And we are being asked to return back to this honoring of the precious balance of light and dark, that we need the dark as much as we need the light, and that the darkness is as much full of medicine as light is. So we're sitting in this darkness. But as we sit in this darkness, I invite you to return back to your aspiration, this aspiration of practicing to get free. That you're practicing to get free, but you know you're practicing even more deeply because you want to free all beings from suffering. You want to become the medicine that all beings need. And this isn't an aspiration of arrogance, right? This is an aspiration of audacity and confidence, because you can't do shit without audacity on this path. If you're going to get free, fucking get free, right? Don't just sit around and wait for other people. You have to do the shit. That's how daring we're talking about. To feel that audacity, which is uncomfortable for some of you, because some of us haven't been conditioned to be confident. Some of us have been hurt through our expression of confidence. Or if you're a good Buddhist, you've been told that confidence isn't a Buddhist principle, but not this kind of confidence that I'm talking about. Audacity. This is the energy of the Mahakalas. This, again, this audacity, fuck it. I'm gonna do this. Beings need to be supported, and I'm going to become a support in some way, somehow. Just notice even the physical sensations of opening to that audacity, the anxiety that some of you feel, the nervousness. Some of you are like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. But this is like a spark, this audacity. I will free beings as I am also being free. I will free beings as I am also being free. As I begin to awaken to my medicine, I will instantly share whatever medicine I have for others seeking to get free. This is what darkness is asking us to do, because darkness knows how easy it is for us to be swallowed by it and to develop agency over darkness, which is also to develop agency over all the kind of like intense shit that hides in the darkness. This is the audacity that we have to develop. Hypothetically speaking, if you had any aspirations to become an exorcist, you're not going to go far with these hard-headed demons, without audacity and confidence. They will eat you alive, and they have eaten many living people alive. But this is where this warfare begins. It's like, nope, I will not be consumed by the fear. I will not be consumed by the the hugeness, the immensity of an aspiration to get free and to help others get free. I will not be consumed. Instead, I will consume everything. My aspiration will consume all the doubt, all the fear, all the hesitation. I don't know if you stick around long enough, we might be shifting to Mahakala soon. Who's to say we won't? Because it's my show. But I'm making a point here, because this is where we always get stuck in our practice. The audacity, you have to get into this. The audacity, the absurdity is absurd. But you're beginning to feel this aspiration awaken in your heart center as this radiance of light. Because this is where liberation begins. It begins in the heart. This is a heart matter. This is a matter of deep care and empathy. So letting that aspiration awaken the heart center, feeling that glow, like E.T., like in E.T.'s heart, his center begins to glow. It's the same thing. And that radiance begins to radiate from your heart center into this darkness. It's like you're becoming the sun in this solar system. You're the heart of this solar system, this galaxy. And guess what? as we emanate, radiate this energy of light into the darkness all around us, we are calling forth all the beings who are here to help us. They arise like stars in the darkness of this galaxy, centered around us as the sun, as the one who calls forth their help, their support, their benefactors. And I want you to take this seriously, because this kind of practice, when we're centered in this kind of audacity, like this intensity, this is when you really galvanize the energies that you need. This is the heart of protector practice. You don't sit around and say, oh, I wish. It'll be really nice. It'll be so sweet if I had all these benefactors and if the protectors would show up. It'll be really wonderful, right? I would deeply enjoy that. No, that's not what we're doing. It's like, I am here, I am getting free, I am becoming the medicine. Where are you at? Right? Because this train is fixing to leave the station, so y'all need to show up and get on board. That's what I'm talking about. This is the heart of benefactor of protector practice. Let's get to it. There's liberation that needs to happen. So this is the essence, the energy, this energy radiating from your heart is the essence of this audacity. Come on, y'all. Like, I have work to do, and you said you would help. All the bodhisattvas, all the Buddhas in the universe, we call because they made a promise. A Buddha is a being who has made a promise to free beings. There are all kinds of awakened beings in the universe, right? Not all of them are interested in liberating beings from these clusters of samsara and delusion. But the ones who say yes are the ones that we're talking to. And you begin, again, to experience them waking up around you like stars. So there's like stars awakening. And they begin to radiate and begin to cast the darkness as well away to the side. The darkness doesn't completely disappear, just like space, right? The darkness is still important. Because balance is important. Allow the light to begin to hold space for the darkness, not the other way around. When darkness is holding space for you, we like to call that, maybe evil. But feeling the awakening of these beings, countless beings, shining bright like diamonds in the space around us, all around us, not just in our field of vision, but like having this like 360 multiple direction perception where like we're just hovering in this galaxy, in this universe, and above us, around us, behind us, under us, everything, all the space is being awakened, and these stars, which are our benefactors, the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the protectors, are just beginning to radiate. And we are surrounded by this intense radiance, and we're still radiating as well. And let all the beings that we've summoned support you in this aspiration. Start playing off of each other. If you can imagine some of these beings, and particularly protectors, who kind of show up. They're like your hype man. You know, we all have friends who hype us up, sometimes not for the right reason. You know, like the hypers. They're like, come on, let's do it. Let's get to it. Let's get crunk. I mean, if this were the 90s, you know, let's get crunk, right? This is the energy that's feeding you. They're showing up and like saying, yeah, this is it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Right? Go further. You know, some of us are so overwhelmed by everything that's happening in the world that we don't know how to push back. We don't know how to say, you know what, I will not let this darkness of delusion, of hate, of, you know, just like apathy and hopelessness and despair. I will not let that darkness begin to hold me. And this is how we begin to push back. Like, no, no, fuck this. And you say fuck it because you begin to understand that the nature of all of this is emptiness anyway. So, like, I am not trapped. We are not trapped. That if we can start working, figuring out the work, doing the work, then we know how to start illuminating. We're illuminating care. We're illuminating compassion and understanding and deep care and wisdom and all of that. We begin to illuminate, but we can't just submit, you know, to the hopelessness because everything is so hard. Fuck the difficulty, right? So what? You can't see the end. That doesn't mean you don't start the journey, right? This is a matter of deep faith here. And this is the test. I have to choose the medicine, even though I feel like all of this is impossible. Great, you're not special. Guess what? I thought it was impossible as well. The Buddha thought it was impossible. Join the club. So just a little bit longer here before we go deeper. So again, radiating, feeling the radiance of all the beings awakening around you. You're not alone. When you vow to become the medicine, you will get all the help that you need, all the support that you need. And slowly this light that's radiating from our heart centers, this light slowly begins to radiate from our whole bodies. And slowly that light begins to, our physical bodies begin to dissolve in that white light. And as we dissolve in that white light, I want you just to hover, just in awareness within the radiance of this light. There's no physical form, but just experience, experience of mind, experience of space. And from this place, we'll offer our first mantra, Om Mila Sangye Kino Soha, Medicine Buddha, please think of me. And when we chant this mantra, we begin to reshape ourselves. We're reforming ourselves into an expression of medicine Buddha. We begin with Om, You can chant with me or, or just listen. Beginning with inhaling deeply. Om. Om la sange ki no so Om la sange ki no so Om la sange ki no so We imagine ourselves re-arising in a form of medicine Buddha that feels appropriate for us, be it the traditional form that we see on our prayer request form and doc, be it just an intuition, something that feels natural. You are arising as the cosmic healer. And don't think about it, just arise. As we say in the tantric tradition, it should be as spontaneous as a fish jumping out of the water. Quick, spontaneous, sharp. No thinking. I am. I am the medicine. And in this form, as the cosmic healer, you are still radiating this light of healing into the universe. And as we are radiating, we ourselves are being healed. Right? Our karmic tangles are being unraveled and dissolved. We are doing healing and cleansing work, not just for us, but for our ancestors now. We're doing cosmic cleansing for our descendants as well. Just to radiate, just to be. And as we go into our main mantra, Teata, we allow ourselves to really sink deeper into this radiance. And I want you to say over and over again, even as we're chanting, I want you to keep saying, I am the medicine. And if you don't want to chant, I offer that phrase as an alternative to the chanting, just saying, I am the medicine, I am the medicine. Right? I am the medicine. And if you would like to chant the mantra, we turn our attention to the mantra Teata Om Bekenze Ma Bekenze Rasa Sumungate Soha. We begin. O Teanda Bekenze Ma Bekenze Rasa Sumungate Soha. 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 수문가르조아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라즈 수문가르조아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라즈 수문가르조아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가테소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가테소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가테소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가테소아 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 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가테소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가테소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가테소아 대한다운백은세 백은세 마백은세 라저 수문가르소아 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 대한다운백은세 Begenze, ma begenze, lasse sumunga de zoa. Dea da begenze, begenze, ma begenze, lasse sumunga de zoa. So just turning my attention to the prayer requests, but in your practice, stay radiating in this universe and imagine that we're offering these prayers into the space to be held by all of these beings, all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and deities and healing spirits, what have you, all the beings whom we suffered, we are imagining offering these prayers to. So we call their attention, right? And we say, please hold these prayers and work on our behalf to bring about the fruition of what we most need in this moment for ourselves and for our beloveds. We begin by offering prayers to all those suffering from the effects of war, violence, oppression, famine, and climate change. Prayers for the highest outcome for my relationship with my husband. May we be more compassionate with each other, more respectful, and heal from our past wounds. Prayers for the people of Lebanon. We must not let this happen again. Prayers for the abolition of all carcerality. Prayers to Lama Rod to reach complete freedom swiftly. Prayers for all beings in all realms and timelessness to be freed as well. Prayers for me as I learn to and accept that I must rest deeply after being wrung out. Prayers of ease for me as there is much to do. May I dwell in my faith and trust this time will yield a bountiful harvest. We're offering prayers for Josh and Lauren as their dog Shelly undergoes surgery for cancerous tumors tomorrow. May everything go smoothly and the recovery be swift. Prayers for Jeremy recovering from a sudden skin infection. May everything be cleared and his body heal quickly. Prayers for newborn baby Alonzo, who had meningitis and underwent surgery to clear out an infection in his shoulder. May he recover well without any lasting impacts on his brain function. May his parents, siblings, and extended family feel supported and resourced as they continue to monitor his health in the coming weeks. We're offering prayers for RJ, who is mourning multiple family members. May she know that she is not alone and that they are still with her. Offering prayers for the people of Palestine, Congo, Sudan, Yemen, for Ukraine, and for anyone experiencing grief, violence, and oppression. Offering prayers for my sister-in-law, who is entering the labor of bringing my new nephew Earthside. She's a black woman over 40 in America, so may she and my nibbling be held in prayer, and may the systems that are impacting her and all of us be abolished. May her body's wisdom shine above all else. And offering prayers that my partner's job is stable and not impacted by the upcoming layoffs, and that we can be resilient and loving if we are poorly impacted. May I continue to heal after a nasty bout with COVID. Offering prayers for Christina, whose son died 5 years ago and whose second son has returned home for the first time today. May they heal and be at peace after the long years of pain. Offering prayers for Leroy to navigate school, which is compulsory. Prayers for a school that they may support him as a black adolescent, as a creative and full young human being. Prayers for my communication with his mother to be able to problem solve and set him up in a supportive ways. Offering prayers of gratitude for all of the beauty we may experience. Offering prayers for Max, my nephew who is addicted to codeine, may he get free. Prayers for my sister, his mom, who cannot find a way to be with her pain and who is a functioning alcoholic, and may she get some rest. Offering prayers for K and M, may they feel resourced in supporting their mothers. Offering prayers for MVMC, for them to be able to feel safe and have awareness of their identity changes and ability to make the choices out of love rather than fear. Offering prayers for M and family as they prepare for twins to join their family. May his wife and the twins stay healthy and may the birth go smoothly. Offering prayers for my beloved, their mom, and their sibling as their family navigates transition, as their family retires and leaves the family home of 35 years. As their mom retires and leaves the family home of 35 years, may each of them find the support and space they need to process the emotions, grieve the transition, and welcome in this next life phase. Offering prayers for the liberation of all beings in this Medicine Buddha group. May we each walk with the knowing of our purest potential. Prayer for my Aunt Megan, who is walking with pretty serious cancer. May she be released from fear, and may and may be able to feel held in love and have relief in her body and feel clarity in the stage of her life so that whatever happens next, she can be in touch with peace. Offering prayers for those facing eviction or displacement or struggling to find affordable and safe place to live. Prayers for those facing cold winters to find safe shelter and home. Offering prayers that I may listen for my truth and have the courage and openness to listen to it. Prayers for clarity on the next step of my path that allows me to feel supported and moves me closer in alignment with how I can be most supportive at this time in the world. Offering prayers for liberation from past illusions for all of us. Offering prayers for my family as I know it and the family I may someday build. Prayers for my sick body that has been ill for about a month. May I get an answer this week as my body is in need of nourishment. Prayers for Lord for healing from hysterectomy. May she be that she may find healing, resources, and deep support. Prayers for Darius that he may experience healing, that he may stabilize from consequences of long-term dialysis, that he may find good systems of support. Prayers for his wife and family that they love and support each other well. Offering prayers for Ajanaku as she grieves the passing of his daughter. As he grieves the passing of his daughter, prayers for their family to transform conflict into healing. Prayers for all those in Palestine. Prayers for the African diaspora that we may shed self-hate, self-defeat, fearing what we see in the mirror, feelings of dependency or inadequacy, that we may find intimacy with each other and the cosmos and the lands we live on. Offering prayers for my cousin Emma as they move through their healing of breast cancer. May they make a full recovery. May they be well mentally and emotionally in addition to physically, and may they be enthusiastically supported by their community in the process. For my cousin Anthony, may he feel his own light and tend to what needs to be tended to in regards to his depression. May he be well. Offering prayers for my dear friend George, may he be fully supported and held as he prepares for his performance slash ceremony coming up October 3rd. May this process be transformative for him in the ways that he needs. May he get what he needs. Offering prayers for the healing of all beings, past, present, and future, who have been hurt by violence in this world. Prayers for Dee, who is having cancer surgically removed. May all go well and may she find wholeness again. Offering prayers for the people of Palestine and Lebanon. May Israel stop its violence, and may all people being impacted by the violence have the space they need to heal and grieve. Offering prayers for Gage, may he connect with himself and be rooted in himself. May he be well and be supported as he walks his path. Offering prayers that I may be well and energized to continue with the work of getting free and helping others to get free. Offering prayers for Cancer Jack Hassan, a beautiful soul who died last week, and his wife Rabbi Marsha Prager. Prayers for Larry Daniels Block, and who died last month, his wife Linda, and her Stephen Jerovics, the husband of my good friend Rabbi Rachel Jerovics, who died several months ago. Offering prayers for the healing of my knee and neuropathy in my feet. May the ability to be able to rest, a pretty challenging thing right now with all the various kinds of struggles going on in our personal and collective realms. Offering prayers that I may be guided in my work to support liberation and that I may receive the support I need to continue this work. Offering prayers for everyone in Israel, Palestine, Lebanon. May they all find a way through the old wounds and find peace finally. Prayers of support and healing for Cameron and Anthony. Prayers that I get that medicine and healing needed for the health challenges I'm working through. Prayers for my sister Ellie. May she feel the love the world has for her. Offering prayers for the bravery to face our shadows and pain this season. May we find space to consider the darkness while also tuning to the magic. Offering prayers that the Illich School of Theology will be able to receive exactly the medicine it needs and be liberated as quickly as possible. Prayers for my upcoming homecoming to experience clarity and wisdom to make the choices that will create financial sustainability so I may feel resourced in healing others and help them free themselves. Offering prayers for all those seeking clarity around what they need. May we all know what serves and what needs to be shed. Offering prayers for an easeful transition for my mom and dad as they move to their new house, as they age in place. Offering prayers for my freedom. May I always be protected, safe, and at ease. May I experience a loving abundance that is here for us all. Offering prayers for my upcoming trip to North Ireland, that I would happen that I would deepen the healing of my connection with land and with my ancestors of that land, for the healing of the roots of dominance, and remembering how I belong to the land and to people. Please grant your blessing so that my mind may turn toward remembering who I am. Prayers that I may keep a kidney transplant or whatever. Prayers that I may get a kidney transplant or whatever healing is called upon, physically or for my highest good. Offering prayers for all trans folks. May they receive the resources they need to be well. Prayers towards my growing relationships with my family. Offering prayers for my young adult child who's navigating mental health challenges and in an important transition period for their treatment plan. And prayers for me that I can continue to parent in a loving and liberatory way, even as my heart breaks at the challenges my child is encountering. Offering prayers for my mom and prayers that I may have the faith and ability to support her in the next phase of life. Prayers for my continued health and abundance. Offering prayers for Steph and Sharon as they navigate complex health issues. Prayers for my vocation and that I may heal my issues around scarcity and money. Offering prayers for my dad and his wife as they struggle to make difficult decisions and life challenges required for his healing from alcoholism. Offering prayers to Abigail, she prepares for her month dieta in the jungle so that she can prepare to serve medicine to low-income prayers people and people of color. Prayers for Genesis to heal from traumatic brain injury and for her family to have what they need while caring for her. Prayers for the gentleman who tried to jump in front of my car last night. May we all be supported in our mental health. Prayers for Shania and Jay as they make a difficult decision around the life of their beloved dog. Prayers for their urgent de escalation cycles of violence. Prayers for my father who passed this year, that his spirit is cleared of all the shame that followed him in life. Prayers for all beings dedicated to the path of liberation. Prayers for my comrades as we prepare to gather in deep ceremony in commemoration of the 15,000 plus child martyrs of Gaza. Prayers for my grandfather who is transversing through multiple mental states. Prayers for myself and communal care. My sustenance for liberation. Prayers for the new BIPOC, by QTPOC Sangha I am co-creating. Prayers for my beloved. May they be safe and protected. May they be free. Offering prayers for my mother's healing and my family's continued patience, love, and togetherness as we work to provide care for her. Prayers for my own health so that I may work to relieve the suffering of all. Offering prayers for Kwan and her family, Serenity, who was murdered. May they both be free. Prayers for myself and my partner, my parents, my brother and his partner, so we may all have clarity about how to love each other and ourselves towards freedom. Offering prayers for Marcellus Williams that he may be released and be safe from the death penalty. Prayers for Tatal and his heart. Prayers for all of us doing the work to free ourselves and others. Prayers for support for my own healing, growth, and energetic shift. Prayers for Dad as they navigate financial healing. Prayers for Lama Rod and his team. And prayers that for the bull that got free from the One Day Mall radio in Attleboro, Massachusetts. May they experience the freedom they always deserved and they be free from their suffering. And offer prayers for my Aunt Jelaine as she recovers from having a massive stroke. I offer prayers for Bev as she recovers also from her medical procedures. I continue to offer prayers for the liberation of all beings, for the complete abolishment of all systems of harm and violence. May we all remember who and what we are, and that we all may get free as quickly as possible. May these prayers and all prayers to get free happen as quickly as possible. And may it be so. And just turning our attention back into our mantra work, just for about a couple of minutes. And returning back into this radiance, into our deep conviction that we are the medicine. Even in this moment, we are still the medicine radiating into the immensity of this universe. That all beings, especially all the beings we've offered prayers for, that they receive and be nourished by this radiance. that we're emanating. We begin again. 오때야 자온 백은세 백은세 마 백은세 라스 수문가테 소아 제안다온 백은세 백은세 마 백은세 라스 수문가테 소아 제안다온 백은세 백은세 마 백은세 라스 수문가테 소아 제안다온 백은세 백은세 마 백은세 라스 수문가테 소아 제아자온 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 백은세 백은세 마 마비근세 라서 수문같이 소아 제하다 온비근세 비근세 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 마비근세 라서 수문같이 소아. So returning again back into this radiance that we're emanating into the universe, and how that radiance is being responded to by all the beings around us who are radiating back to us. And all this radiance becomes even stronger until everything is being dissolved in this radiant light. And this radiance slowly dissolves into this experience of emptiness. And in emptiness, we allow our awareness to expand, to open, and to just be. Allowing the mind to just simply rest in its very fundamentally natural state. And slowly, we begin to re-arise back in our bodies, slowly, smoothly, connecting to the weight of our bodies and the seat rising to hold us, touching the earth mentally once again, thanking the earth for holding us in this practice. We begin to offer just simple movements back into our bodies along with a few cleansing breaths as we slowly turn our attention to our closing prayer, Shantideva's prayer from the Bodhisattva's, the guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life. And we'll recite this 3 times together. May I be a protector to those without protection. a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space, and the great elements such as earth may always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. Okay. Thank you all so much for your practice as well. It's been lovely. Yeah, and also wanted, I forgot to thank all of you who joined for the Sex Down South conference, the erotic wellness workshop in Atlanta a couple weeks ago before I took a break. Thank you for coming out to that. I know some of you flew in for that, and I hope to be doing more of that erotic wellness work as well in the near future. I'm going to be doing everything, looks like. But, so thank you for that. And for those of you who have been in the BIPOC Ancestor series, just a reminder that we are having another gathering on Wednesday. We're doing it Wednesday, I think. But again, always like check the emails and not trust anything that comes out of my mouth, because I will give you the wrong time of and day, and make up some shit. Then Eric has to pop on and just be like, "Listen, Queen, I don't know, I don't know where you got that information from, because I just made it up." But anyhow, and that's it. I want to shout out to Liz Cook as well from UK as well for joining us. I know the struggle in that time zone to be present for this, you know. And that's it. And I'll see you. I'll be here next Monday as well, and we'll continue with some of this thematic work around darkness as well. I like that. Okay.